Okay, Robert, what would you do if you found out the world wasn't real and we just lived on a speck of dust? Like Horton Hears a Who.
I would do nothing. That wouldn't impact my life at all.
Oh, well, like, what do you mean? Like, you wouldn't be trying to, like, get out of the speck of dust?
Well, okay, in Horton Hears a Who,
Yeah.
they're going to destroy it. So that's a totally
Right.
different thing.
Okay.
But I'm saying, like, if I just found out, for example, that our world is, like, not the whole world and we're just on a little tiny speck of dust and, like, a giant's palm, that's kind of got nothing to do with me.
So you continue business as usual.
I continue business as
You
usual.
find out we're a speck of dust, you continue business as usual.
Well, yeah, like what?
But then I was saying, like, okay, what if you found out that we were basically like in kind of an ant farm situation and it was just like some fucking 12-year-old named Larry controls us and our lives?
I mean, that's really specific, but like, what do you mean controls our lives? Just like
He decides what happens to us. He decides everything. Like Larry's just like, again, we literally are just in a toy right now. We're in Larry's toy.
But Larry decides like how our lives go, or is it just like our lives are happening in Larry's toy? Is he all powerful?
I assume that Larry has like power if it's his toy. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we're like fully autonomous because like Larry ultimately this is his toy.
Okay.
I assume that like he has something to do with our machinations and happenings.
So if I like post a video that goes viral, that's actually Larry deciding my video would go viral?
well, I guess. I mean, I don't know the level of technology that Larry's toy has.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
You're making this up, so you do know. You're acting like there's data you don't have. You invented Larry. I've never heard this in any religion or mythology.
What if we found out we're just like, again, little toys in a diorama?
I wouldn't change. What would I change about? That's kind of got nothing to do with me. For all I know, we are.
But what if you found, okay, what about this? We're toys in a diorama, but if we can get out of the diorama, then we're full people just like Larry in another world outside of Larry's.
Will I be full-sized?
Yeah. If we can get out, if we can find the escape, we become full-sized and then we're on equal playing field with Larry.
But then what do I do? Fight Larry? What happens then?
I don't know. That's
then
what
I'm just a grown man in a 12-year-old's bedroom.
I don't know, but I don't know the rules of their world. Maybe that's chill in their world.
What?
I don't know.
What kind of fucking world
I don't know.
is this?
I'm basically just saying, like, so it doesn't matter what kind of world you realize we were living in, you would continue business as usual.
I continue business as usual because, again, effectively we don't understand the context of our universe.
And I agree with you. I similarly, I'm business as usual.
No, you're not. You're saying that in Larry's world, men can pop out of ant farms to be in a child's bedroom. And the child is God of his ant farm.
Right. I'm just doing a thought experiment, I guess.
I mean, I would say that I would do nothing. I would say that that has nothing to do with me, that I'm just going to keep living my life.
Yeah, and I agree with you.
There are larger forces shaping all our lives.
Yes, and I would agree with that. Well, because in a way, it's like even if you're in the traditional Christian view, it's like we are in God's ant farm.
Sorry, Larry made me make that noise. Sorry, that noise was weird for you guys. It's because Larry, the 12-year-old who is our God of our ant farm, he made me make that noise.
Also, like, Larry's pretty sick for, like, making us pray to Jesus, if it's Larry.
Well, Larry's probably pissed at Jesus. I like to think that in this reality, Jesus is like Larry's cool older brother.
Oh my God. And he hacked Larry's ant farm.
Yeah.
And made all of Larry's little, like, sim bots.
Like they all love me. And then Larry's like, oh yeah, they love you or whatever. That's fine. I'm gonna have them crucify you. And then Jesus is like, they're gonna like me more, Larry.
That's just gonna make them love me even more.
And then Larry's like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. And then Larry decided that actually these two little ants in my ant farm are going to host the Midnight Milkshake podcast, and it will become the best podcast ever.
Larry, if you're hearing this, Larry, please blow up the Midnight Milkshake podcast.
Larry, I promise if you blow up our podcast, I won't escape and get big like you in your world.
See, we're laughing now. But imagine when that happens.
Well, I would be existentially terrifying. I'd have a mental breakdown. It's moot because if this did happen, I would have a full psychotic break and I would be drooling on the floor of Larry's bedroom. A 12-year-old boy god. So, anyway, thanks for tuning into the pod. Look at the views on this episode if you're watching on YouTube. Yeah. And if it's less than 1 million, know that we're being punished by Larry.
It's because Larry didn't like what we said
about Jesus' older brother. Midnight
Milkshake.
Dana's insecure about how her jean shorts look just in the frame because she like the way she's sitting. So guys, don't even look at her jean shorts. Nobody who's watching this look at her jean shorts. And if you're listening audio, definitely don't go to the YouTube to pull up the video to see how Dana's jean shorts are kind of fitting.
This is why you can only wear low-rise, stretchy waistband things on a podcast where you're going to be sitting in a mushy chair, because otherwise it looks like, again, it looks like I have parts that I don't have. Not that it would be wrong to have them.
Well, that's why Joe Rogan never shows you his bottom half, because he's always wearing jean shorts and he's like, well, looks like I got a weird bulge.
Yeah, he doesn't though.
We don't know.
We don't know.
For all we know, he does.
That's why he sits behind the table.
Yeah.
I when you start podcasting or doing like anything where you're having like a casual conversation, I do think you start to really become cognizant of like how clothes fit on different surfaces that you sit on and how that makes your body look. And it's like just things you wouldn't think about normally.
Yeah.
And I will say, if you don't have a really healed relationship with your body, prepare yourself before you do a podcast.
Yeah.
Like I would say, and again, not like to like promote like body like image stuff, but I'm like, know how you look on camera from every possible angle before you start letting other people film you too.
And I don't want to promote like bad body image stuff, but I do think that your body is wrong and you should take a bunch of drastic measures to fix it.
Whatever your body looks like, that's not the good one.
This is what media was like in like the 90s and 2000s. Your body is incorrect.
Yeah.
You should try to fix it, no matter how scared it makes your parents.
Well, it was kind of like this messaging of whatever you're at right now, that's a before picture. Whatever it is, you're just the before.
Yeah.
And whatever you're doing, it could be better. And if not better, different, and different is better.
Well, before after pictures were they had those everywhere. You couldn't like look at a piece of media in the 90s or the early 2000s without seeing before and after picture.
There's this lady on TikTok who I guess she was, I don't know if she was a content producer or something for like teen magazines in the early 2000s.
So she's basically a war criminal.
Well, that's what she talks about. But her book is about like, don't buy what I'm selling. And she was showing pictures of herself when she was like criticizing teen models for being bloated and she was like obese.
Can I be honest with you? I'm not sure if I'm ready to give this woman the redemption arc she claims.
Yeah.
Because also even that to be like, hey guys, like I was promoting an unhealthy body image and my evidence for that is like, look at how fucking gross my body was. I'm like, in a way, you're kind of still pushing a negative body image.
I think she was just saying like, the people who were trying to sell you something, they couldn't even attain what they were selling.
But is the implication that if like a bunch of smoking hot women were the ones pushing the toxic body standards that would make the toxic body standards good?
I mean, I think the idea is that like if you have a really nice body that you have attained through natural and like not crazy purposes, the idea that you'd expect that other people would be able to would be like at the very least not hypocritical. Mm-hmm. Right?
But again, it's like at a certain point with that, it's like, is hypocrisy even like a major problem there? Do you know what I mean? It's like if the main issue is that like you're plunging young people's like sense of self-esteem like into the depths of despair and like damaging their own self-image, does it matter if, oh yeah, and also I'm kind of being a bit of a hypocrite? I just don't know if that really matters.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess that's a good question.
Yeah.
I guess my whole thing would be like part of the reason why it's unhealthy to promote body types that aren't attained in any sort of healthy manner is because it's not healthy.
Yeah.
But it's like if I literally am a super skinny, say I'm 5'10", I'm 120 pounds, and that's like my body naturally, and I like truly, genuinely eat whatever I want, and like I exercise a normal amount, and like whatever, it's not crazy for me to look at really fat people and go like, what's wrong with you?
Okay, well,
like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, here's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I also think like I don't like the way also like sometimes the body image conversation has now been hijacked by like the weight loss meds and drugs.
Yes.
Because it seems to be that like a new celebrity will debut their clearly unnaturally skinny body, receive mass criticism, and then play the don't comment on women's bodies card. And it's like, or I guess the society's thing is that's not your body though.
Right.
People are weirded out because that's not your body. And I understand that me being the one to say it, I am kind of wading into some potentially like misogyny minefields here, but I'm not actually naming names. But the very fact that I say new celebrity comes out suddenly super rail thin, looking insane, and everyone can populate like 3 people in there. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, I mean, like maybe that's an issue. Maybe, and I guess my whole point is like that's like a separate problem. That's like a separate issue.
What's a separate issue?
Well, it seems like people who like lose a ton of weight with Ozempic nowadays they will act like that people criticizing them for that choice is the same thing as like teen magazines calling little girls fat in the 90s.
Yes.
I would say that is not the case.
Right. Well, because it's also demonstrative of completely the opposite thing where it's like, yeah, you're literally coming out and saying, look, I internalized the body critique so freaking hard that this is me now. Yeah. And how dare you now add new body critiques to this?
Yeah. Well, okay. Remember when Gracie Abrams gave an interview where she pretended to be mad that people were complimenting her abs and asking for her ab routine? Yeah. She was like, people always ask me for my ab routine. I don't have an ab routine. Don't you dare comment on women's bodies.
Yeah.
It's also like, it is just funny to be like, how dare you comment on my super toned, hot as hell, awesome body.
Well, also a lot of this started like, when you think about commenting on women's bodies, I think a lot about the picture of Jessica Simpson that went really viral in the 2000s.
Where she was looking like a gross fat pig?
Yeah.
Joking, irony. Joking. I'm sorry.
But like she literally like isn't fat. Again, okay, as someone too who like my weight fluctuates and like I know also when you're short or you're being photographed, like your body just kind of like you can get done really dirty is what I'm saying in a photo. Like you can like they can make you look like 30 pounds heavier than you actually are just by taking a kind of bad photo.
Yeah.
And so like when I saw that picture of Jessica Simpson, I was like, oh yeah, her jeans kind of fit weird and the light is weird and like I could see what was going into making her look so fat.
Well, but there's that saying the camera adds 10 pounds. It's like, yeah, because the person taking the picture fucking hates you.
Yeah, exactly. The camera only adds 10 pounds if the photographer is jealous. I always say this too, ladies, you probably don't need to lose 10 pounds. You need a photographer who doesn't hate your freaking guts. It's what I would always say about pictures my mom would take of me. I'd literally get them back and I'd be like, I don't look like this. But that's how you think I look? Crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, well, because like again, your parent is just like they're trying to sabotage you so that they can remain number one on.
Well, it's actually very Snow White when you think about it. It's very like who is the fairest of them all, and then the day that their mirror says, "Oh, it's like it's your friend, it's your daughter, it's like it's the lady down the street." You're like, "Oh, I will kill them."
Yeah,
that's that.
Honestly, the mirror was being messy as hell. Who's the fairest of them all? It's like, your stepdaughter.
Yeah.
Wasn't it her stepdaughter?
It was her stepdaughter. Sorry, yeah.
It was.
Yeah, Snow White was the evil queen's stepdaughter.
It was.
Yeah.
That's messy.
It's messy.
The mirror couldn't be like, oh, it's a girl who's like it's in another country. Oh, it's a girl who goes to a different school.
Don't worry about it.
It's a girl who goes to a different school on a different country.
You don't need to worry about that.
No, it's like, hey, what if it's your stepdaughter?
Yeah.
Also, kind of pervy mirror too. The mirror's like, well, your possibly underage stepdaughter has been looking pretty good.
Yeah. No, the mirror is a pervert.
The mirror's a fucking pervert.
The mirror always had a sinister energy. That was one of my least favorite Disney movies. It was so creepy. Also, again, she's just like hanging out with like a group of, again, 7 dwarves, whatever. Ad nauseum, people have discussed why Snow White is weird.
But to me, I think the real message of Snow White is that when the evil queen or whatever becomes the old hag, she suddenly like starts having a great time. She clearly loves it. And I'm like, well, this is what happens when you free yourself from beauty standards.
No,
you
it's
get
so
to
real.
Kind of just like have fun with it.
Well, I was saying, like, I was in a short film recently where I got to play an old lady and I just had old lady makeup on and I was wearing like a full pantsuit and I truly had the best time and I think I was like funnier than I've ever been because I literally wasn't trying to look pretty at all because that's like not the point.
Yeah.
But like once you relinquish the idea of like, I want to be fuckable, like your life becomes so much better.
Well, that's what I always say. It's like, dude, sometimes I'll speak to older. Okay. My mom will always say stuff like, I'm trying to hide it. I'm like, sometimes there's certain people I'm trying to go.
Maybe you're related to them. Maybe you came out of their womb or.
Yeah. My mother, who is in her 60s and lives in Missouri and is like a Catholic woman in Missouri, been married 40 plus years, will say stuff like, I'm watching my carbs. It's like, for what? Like, it's done.
It's done.
It's over.
It's done. Like, just like your body, not to be rude, it's like, it just doesn't matter that much. But we talk about how this is actually a uniquely, I think, boomer phenomenon to be really obsessed with specifically like numbers on the scale. Because tell me why both my parents, when I was growing up, I remember this, tell me why they were obsessed with what they weighed in high school. Why do I know what my parents weighed in high school? Because they were obsessed with talking about how much they weighed in high school. And they would always just be like, oh, if only I could weigh what I weighed in high school. Well, in high school, I weighed blank. And I'm just like, that's actually an insane statistic. And here's the thing, if you don't know my lore, I was obese in high school. So I I weighed significantly more in high school than I do now. But like, it's just so funny because I wonder if that happened to me. That happened to me. I wonder if I was obese in high school, literally as a way to like break the generational curse of like, you will never hear me talk about wanting to weigh what I weighed in high school.
You weigh less than you weighed in high school.
I weigh less than I weighed in high school. But I'm like, was that how this generational curse was broken? Because maybe if I had weighed like not very much in high school, I'd be one of those ladies walking around just like making my daughter feel like shit. Well, you know what I weighed in high school? I will never be able to make my daughter feel like shit for whatever she weighs in high school. There's probably very little chance she'll weigh as much as I did. Okay? Very little chance. And I'm like, that's... It's just so funny. I'm like, again, my daughter would be like, wow, if only I could weigh what I weighed in high school. Literally, like, if I weighed what I weighed in high school, that probably means like I'm pregnant and it's not going well. You know what I mean? Like, phew.
Dude, well, here's like, boomers love to talk about what they weighed in high school.
Yeah.
First off, they'll be like, wow, you know, I'm not as skinny as I was in high school. It's like, yeah, you're not supposed to be. You were a child in high school.
Yeah, you were a child. Why would you weigh what you weighed in high school?
Oh,
It's freaking weird.
I'm trying to get back in my 6th grade shape. What? That can't be the peak for you.
No.
And second of all, boomers are obsessed with what they weighed in high school and also, like, for some reason, like, their weight on their wedding day.
Yeah.
Like,
yes,
okay,
yes.
I've never understood this. Like brides will be like, I have to lose weight so I can fit into my wedding dress. It's like, why not just, like, get clothes that fit?
They have wedding dresses in every size. Okay,
Yeah.
I always think about this too. Whenever I want to be skinnier, I do this thing where I go, pretend yesterday I was 10 pounds heavier and then I woke up today like this. Wouldn't I be thrilled? That's my mental hack.
Dude, it is crazy because like it is like you grew up in such an unhealthy environment in terms of like self-image and body and weight. So now in order for you to feel good about your body, you've got to write yourself these little riddles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You basically have to be like, okay, so in order to feel good about the face and body I see in the mirror, imagine that there was a curse on me a week ago that was lifted 2 days ago. And then I found a healing potion last night and I woke up and the potion worked.
But that is how I am. And I think it really helps a lot of people because I share a lot of these online.
Yeah.
Like my dog breed.
Yeah.
Like
clearly people need to hear it.
Clearly people need to hear it.
Well,
but like again, if that spoke to you, hey, imagine that yesterday you were 10 pounds heavier and today you woke up and this is what you look like. Girl, heck yeah, you're skinny.
Well, it is this thing too where I do feel like I had like the exact opposite experience in high school, whereas I always say like my freshman year of high school, I was like a little bit chubby, didn't really have a ton of friends, didn't really fit in socially. So then that summer I decided I'm going to get jacked and shredded in order to make friends. Spent that whole summer literally like working out every day, a crazy amount, changed my whole diet, showed up sort of sophomore year, super jacked and shredded. Everyone at school went, wow, Robert, looking good. And then they immediately went right back to ignoring me and not being my friend. So it's almost like I got to game out what would happen if I quote unquote fixed everything about my body. Would it help? No, it didn't help the way I viewed myself. It didn't really help the way other people viewed me. So in many ways, I guess what I'm trying to say is being a jacked man in high school is kind of harder than being a fat woman.
And you know, I love to hear that.
I'm joking. I am joking. I'm
that
worried
being
that I think I've used up my evil irony. I can't be evilly ironic.
I don't think you've used.
Well, I don't want people to think that that's actually in my spirit, and and
it's
how I
not
speak.
in his spirit, you guys.
It's not my spirit.
Robert's like really kind and actually deeply empathetic and understanding to the point where, okay, Robert was talking about this with me, where whenever I feel bad about myself, my instinct is to think that I'm fat. Like whenever I'm not feeling good, whenever I feel sad about something, all I know is I am fat. And I think this comes from, give your psychoanalysis on it, because I thought it was good.
I think it's really interesting. Here's how I know that kind of like so much of like the way women are spoken to by media, it just centers weight in a really unhealthy way. Because whenever Dana, for example, feels tired or she feels overworked or she feels stressed out about responding to an email, the way her brain verbalizes that feeling is always, ugh, I feel fat. Like the other day, she goes, I just feel so fat today. And then I was like, what time did you wake up? And she like had to wake up super early for a thing. I'm like, no, you're sleep deprived. You just don't have, your brain isn't used to forming the words, I feel bad because I'm sleep deprived. Your brain just defaults to, I feel bad because I'm fat as hell.
Well, because my brain literally is, and again, I have done so much work to unwire myself and kind of fix myself. And I think I've done a pretty good job, but it still slips out where it's like, when I feel bad, my brain literally goes, what is the worst thing? Fat. Therefore, if you are feeling bad, it must be because you are fat. Like that is literally how my brain works.
Well, the other day you were tired from doing a lot of work all day.
Yeah.
But it's like your brain didn't have the words. I'd never formed those words. Oh, I'm tired from all the work I did today. So your brain just assumes, well, I'm tired. Must be because of all my chubby on my old bones.
Must be because of all the chubby on my old bones. Yeah.
But it's like that permeates like all the language we use to speak about ourselves, given that we grew up in the 90s and 2000s. It's just so informed by all that, by like that kind of language.
Yeah.
If you don't feel good, it's literally some reflection of like, what's your weight at? Oh, you feel depressed and sad? Is it because you don't weigh the same as you did in 10th grade?
Okay, but that's also the funniest thing about my parents and their high school weights. Because, okay, you'd think if you're like romanticizing what you weighed during a time period, that time period must have been good for you or held a lot of special value and good memories. But it's like, my parents were obsessed with what they weighed in high school. They both hated high school. They would talk all the time about how they were unpopular in high school and how like my mom graduated early because she couldn't wait to get out of there. And I'm like, so, okay, what you're telling me is like when you weighed 95 pounds, you were having a bad time.
Well, they'll also be like, it's like, they're like,
what?
I'd be happier if I weighed the same as high school. Imagine if they were like, hi, I'd be happier if I had the same amount of acne as I did in high school. It's like, no, you would. Like, why are you just... You don't want to be in the same body you were in high school.
No.
You don't want that. And also, as you said, you had a terrible experience.
You had a terrible experience. Like, again, if you're romanticizing what you weighed in high school, you better have been popular as fuck in high school. Because otherwise, if you're romanticizing what you weighed in high school and you didn't even have a good time in high school, I'm literally going, so you're like, what? You want to weigh what you weighed at a different miserable time in your life? Like, I just don't understand. Why?
I don't get it.
I truly don't get it.
Well, because, you know what, I think a lot of them, what they mean to say is like they miss that feeling in high school that their whole lives were ahead of them and their options were open and like their future was one of optimism instead of their present currently, which is one of like, wow, missed opportunities. Like they're lamenting the youth they lost.
Right.
But all they know how to say is, I'm fatter than I was in 10th grade.
Yeah.
Because that's all they've been trained to say.
Right. But I'm like, yeah, like the answer is not in like reobtaining some number on the scale from the past.
Well, also, as we always say, like a number on a scale is legit meaningless because
it
doesn't mean anything because it's relative to certain heights and like body types and like lifestyles. Like in and of itself, if I told you like someone weighs 140, that tells you zero about them. That could be that could mean anything. It's
doesn't
completely
mean
arbitrary.
I can't visualize them if all I know is 140.
Yeah.
I cannot visualize this person because if they're really tall, that means they're really skinny. If they're really short, that means maybe they're a little chunky. Like it's like I don't know.
I have no
clue. If they're
clue.
really muscular, maybe that means like they're really muscular.
Well, it's the way I say a lot of like athletes are technically obese because they're really muscular.
BMI,
but also to say that they're not in good shape would be a lie.
Right.
To say that they should lose weight would actively hurt their physical performance.
It's
like
just
doesn't
like
make
an
sense.
arbitrary metric.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is gonna sound mean. If weight is the number or metric that you are most fixated on, you don't got enough good numbers in your life, aka you need to get your money up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess I'm just not sure that rhetoric is better for people than the teen magazines.
You're right.
Well, that is what people say now. They'll be like, oh man, we're done with all that kind of harmful rhetoric. Now we're about getting your money up and getting on your grind.
Yeah.
Now we're about telling you to commit white collar crimes. Wink, wink.
Right.
That's what every entrepreneur on TikTok is doing.
I'm like, stop obsessing over your body and start obsessing over day trading.
Yeah. Hey, they're like magazines these days are like, hey, we're sorry we ever called you fat. Now we're just gonna call you broke. You're broke.
You're broke.
Sorry. Sorry we insulted your weight. Now we will insult your bank account.
But dare I say, there's something like less. Again, your bank account is less personal to you than I would say your weight is.
True, but I would also say it is equally meaningless in and of itself.
Yes, I would agree. Like we talk about, money is only what you can do with it.
Well, again, a certain amount of money in Los Angeles is that same amount of money means something totally different in like Ohio.
Yeah.
Means something totally different in like Costa Rica or Ghana. I've been getting TikToks of like guys trying to like sell like houses in Ghana.
To people like you or to people in Ghana?
Legitimately, I think to people like me in America. Because I think the whole thing is like your dollar can go further here.
I don't want to move to Ghana.
All right, fine. I mean, that's okay.
Cancel your sale, sir.
All right, I made a lot of commitments for us to go to Ghana. So we've kind of had a lot of laughs so far, but I think it's time we talk about something serious, which is an experience Dana had. earlier. She had me drop her off at an appointment for something called sugaring.
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes later, I picked her up and she was changed. Would you like to kind of give the story?
Yeah. Okay. It's swimsuit season. If you're a woman, you know about hair removal in the nether regions. There's really never a not gross way to talk about this. But you know about Brazilian hair removal. And I basically was like, okay, I haven't gotten my hair removed in a minute, and it's, you know, I want to be able to wear like a little skimpy swimsuit. So I'm like, let me make an appointment. Usually in the past, I've done waxing. So I'm not a stranger to being naked in a random room with a woman putting stuff on my privates and ripping out the hair on them. I'm not a stranger to this. I have been around the hair removal block, intimate hair removal block. That's what I'll call it. I've been around the block. But I had never done this thing called sugaring, and I couldn't find a hard wax place. For those of you who don't know, there's like soft wax, and then there's hard wax, and hard wax hurts a lot less. So if you're getting waxed, hard wax is the way to go. It all hurts, but hard wax less so. Anyway, I can't find a hard wax place I like in our area. So, and I see that there's this place called. Actually, I don't want to shout out the place. I see that there's a sugaring place near me, and I don't really know what sugaring is. I understand it's like a kind of wax. And everyone online, if you just Google like sugaring versus wax, people say sugaring is like less painful and quicker. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me give it a shot. I've never tried sugaring. Let me try sugaring. I make an appointment. I go to this place, and it is less painful. Here's what I'll say. Pros of sugaring. It was really fast. It was less painful. Cons. They got up in there. I don't know how to say this any better. In a way that like I really was not preparing. In a way that you do not get touched like that by someone who is not an intimate partner. Waxing is way less invasive in my experience. And but here's my other take is I'm like, what if it was just this lady? Like she was like really, again, I just wasn't expecting it to be so invasive.
Okay, I mean, obviously we don't want to like get too crass, but like,
right?
Wouldn't it just be the same thing as waxing?
You'd think it would be the same thing as waxing, but waxing, what they do is like they take the stick, they put the hard wax on your stuff, and then they just rip it off, and they never.
What is sugaring then? Isn't that what sugaring does?
No, so sugaring is like they take this like clump ball of wax, and they just start like moving it around on your stuff. Okay, sorry.
I didn't even like it when you mimed it on me.
Yeah, so they take this like essentially ball of sticky stuff. They start like moving it around on your parts, and then they start like ripping off the sticky stuff like that. But as you can see, it's like. Okay, as opposed to let me just demonstrate on Robert.
I'd rather you did it, but okay.
Okay, so if I'm waxing, I just take my stick. I just put the whole layer of hard wax. I let it dry for a second, and then I rip. That's it. And I'm just ripping. That's it. Sugaring, it's like I'm taking my ball, and I'm kind of like going like this, and then I'm like.
Actually touch me.
But like I'm just trying to explain to our audience. And so it's just like they're just touching your stuff at some point. In a way that like they don't touch your stuff like that.
Well, it seems like waxing is like a 3-step process, and sugaring is like a 50-step process. It seems like sugaring is like a bunch of tiny little steps, one after the other, whereas waxing is one kind of ordeal.
Yeah, I would say that waxing is definitely simpler. Like, okay, like I, as an untrained person, I could watch someone wax and be like, I get it. I could probably wax. I don't even know how you would train someone to do sugaring. And yeah, ultimately I was just really shocked.
So some lady wearing just like a t-shirt and jeans sugared you?
No, she was in scrubs, which I also found sinister. I've never also had a wax where anyone is wearing scrubs. She was wearing scrubs and a face mask. Again, like she was a gynecologist. Gynecologists never touched me like that either.
That's insane.
Like she was more invasive than any gynecologist I ever had. Granted, gynecologists use this thing called the speculum, where they insert like a metal rod into your thing, and then like it like keeps your thing open. Ugh. And this is why I haven't gone to pap smear in a minute. It's traumatic.
So welcome back to Midnight Milkshake.
Anyway,
we're a podcast for the fellas.
And this is just for the guys.
Boys. This is just for the fellas.
But again, I just want to say to anyone out there, because I could not find people talking about this when it comes to sugaring. And I don't know if it's like one of those things where we're all kind of like, wait, was that like normal? Or if this only happened to me. And like the lady who was sugaring me like did it weird or something. Like, I don't know.
Well, here's what I will say. I mean, it seemed like you were very confident about two things. One thing was you were like, that was less painful than traditional waxing.
Yeah.
And the other thing was, what the fuck was that? Those seem to be your two things.
I mean,
and you kept going back and forth between the two.
It was less painful than waxing. And also the results are great. Like, I truly am, like, if you want like a very smooth, clean result, I did obtain that from sugaring.
But at what cost?
Because I did have kind of a,
and is
what do
the
they call it,
Dana
1,000-yard stare for the rest of the day.
Is the Dana who went in to get sugared the same Dana who walked out?
Absolutely not.
Is the Dana who walked in the same Dana as the one who stumbled out, confused and bewildered? Well, also my thing is, like, obviously, like, I want to know what Dana's going through, but there's a degree of, like, how can I comfort you when I obviously have no context? So it's kind of like, I'm almost like, do I need to find a way for me to get sugared just so I can relate?
So. And that's the thing, though. I don't even know if men are allowed to get sugared. So this is another layer of our investigation that we'll have to undergo is, like, do they do full frontal waxing for men?
Do they sugar?
Do they sugar men? Can you get sugared? Because also there's not even a word for it. Like, for women, it's Brazilian. I don't think there is a men's Brazilian.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Braziliano?
Yeah, so can I get the Braziliano?
Is there a Braziliano?
Well, I don't know. Here's the thing, I don't know. But also there's part of me that's like, what do you mean? Like, you only sugar women? That feels weird. It kind of fucking feels weird.
That feels weird, but I
feels
also
like, you know, you're up to something.
If I was a woman doing this, I wouldn't want to do it on a man. So I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but then that kind of leads into, like, so does she just like doing this to women?
No, I don't know.
If it's like, to me, either it's a thing you're into or it's your job.
Right.
It can't be both. So it's kind of like, if it's just your job, then you can sugar anybody. They can sugar biter. We can bring our dog in. If it's just a job.
If it's just a job.
But to be like, oh no, I'm not going to sugar guys. Ew. It's like, well, wait a minute. What are you getting out of sugaring women?
I don't know. But I was also saying, like I told you, if that had been a man, first of all, I never would get this service done by a man. But if that had been a man and what happened to me, I would have fucking called 911. After. So I don't know.
And
I really don't know.
It was a woman and you were just like,
it was a woman and I was deeply confused. I was confused. And here's the thing. I was so confused. I signed up for a membership. They got me.
What do you mean?
Like, they literally at the end were like, so if you come back in 4 weeks, it's $20 off. We really recommend, like, the membership because it's just like you essentially buy 2 services and you can save $40. And I was just kind of like I was still processing and I was like, yeah, sure.
You were still reeling from your sugaring.
Yeah. It was.
Was this after they sugared you?
This was right after the sugaring.
Bro, they got you at your most vulnerable moment.
And I think they didn't ask for a tip, which I do think is, like, weird as fuck. I think it's weird as fuck to, like, not ask for a tip.
Well, to me, it would be weirder to ask for a tip because once again, it's like, what's the extra for?
But to me, it's like, it shouldn't be. To me, like, if you're not asking for a tip, that almost implies guilt. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're not asking for a tip.
But to me, it's crazy they asked you to, like, come back. It's like they knew they had you. They kind of formed, dare I say, a psychosexual bond with you that they exploited immediately. Also, everything's a subscription service.
Everything. Well, you realize that's the only way that people can make money.
Yeah.
Is by trying to get you into a membership
I've
or
got
subscription.
Netflix, got Hulu, got sugared.
Got sugaring. Well, that's why services like Rocket Money pose such a threat to our economy. Like, if people actually start canceling all the subscriptions they don't know they have, like, businesses will fail.
Yeah. Well, I remember I subscribed to Paramount Plus right after Paramount Plus waxed my privates was when they got me. They said that right after they waxed me clean, they said, you want to watch Yellowstone? I'm like, yeah, I guess, kind of.
And that's how they get you. But I was saying to Robert, it's like, okay, when you submit yourself to this kind of, like, intimate experience where you are bottoms off in a stranger's room. I mean, it's not a stranger's room. It's a business.
But here's the thing, it's not a stranger's room, but nor is it like any like a medical office.
Well, that's also why I'm like, the scrubs and the mask made it feel like she was trying to seem more legitimate than she was, so that when she did something that I think, in my opinion, was weird.
Yeah.
And again,
she introduced herself. She's like, hello, I am Professor Real Doctor. Take off your pants.
It's just her job. For all I know, like, this is normal. And for all I know, nobody else has a problem with this. But I would just like to say, like, if you've been sugared and you felt like, if you left sugaring,
if you've been sugared, there's a hotline. We'll put it at the bottom of the screen.
You can just call me. Just call me up. We'll talk.
We'll get a class action going.
Yeah.
Well, I'm almost like this.
But it's like, I don't even want to.
But also, you don't even. That's what I think. Your thing is you don't even know if it was wrong.
I don't know if it's wrong
or just sugar.
I don't know if it's just sugar.
Or maybe if you had never been waxed and this was your first. Maybe if you didn't have wax to compare it to and this was just how it's done, you're just like, oh yeah, that's what happens.
But the weirdest thing is I've seen people online compare sugaring and waxing, and they're like, "Oh, I much prefer sugaring," and I'm like, "Are you a pervert?" But I don't know, like.
Well, maybe it forms like a weirdly deep, intimate bond where it's like once you get sugared, it's like you have to keep getting sugared just because you keep wanting to find out what happened to you.
Yeah,
like you want to get sugared again, just to be like, I need to solve
the real
my
truth
last
is
sugaring.
I might go back. Like that is the most horrible part of all of this. Is like I literally might go back. It really was so much less painful than waxing.
Well, there is a version of this, by the way, where you get your sugaring license and you sugar others because you like understand your abuser.
I need to understand.
Not saying this person necessarily was your abuser.
But that's also it. I'm like, I don't want to accuse. I don't want to say that anything uncouth necessarily happened because, like, I don't know.
Well, to be clear, they delivered exactly what the sugaring process was. They didn't like do anything extra or creepy or weird.
No,
it's just an odd sensation that makes you go like, whoa.
Also, again, I will say their fingers get in there in a way that's not
Christ.
What. Like, how do I explain it?
I don't know.
Also, I want
know.
other people. If you've been sugared and you were like, were their fingers supposed to be that up in there? Like, that's just what I want to know. Does anyone else feel like this? Has anyone else been sugared and waxed and you know that, like, when you got waxed, they didn't touch you like that?
Hey, just interrupt you.
Should we move on?
Well, yeah.
But again, I do think I would love for Robert to get sugared. I would love for Robert to get sugared.
Next week on the Midnight Milkshake podcast, I have a 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, and you're like, Robert, how is sugaring? And I'm just like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. The whole Midnight Milkshake podcast will get sugared. Biter's going to get sugared.
Dude, I wonder what would happen if next time I go back and I go, I want my husband in the room.
And I want him to have a gun.
And he gets to hold a gun.
And let's see if you do this. And let's see if you will do the same thing to me this time as last time.
I just want to know, like, if my husband is in the room, like, are you doing the service as business as usual?
But there is part of me, it's like, did I fail as a protector when you got back in the car and you're like, I got sugared? Because again, my instinct was to be like, I'm sure it was fine. I'm sure it was fine. But like, would a real man have kicked down the door and be like, who here sugared my wife?
Well, it is like so crazy because it is one of those situations where, like, you know, if you were in a room full of strangers and you were like, yeah, no, I like willingly took my pants off and then I subscribed to the membership, like they would be like, it sounds like you were asking for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm like,
well, to be fair, you did ask for it. You said sugar me.
I said sugar me.
But then you didn't know what sugaring was. You just didn't know what you were signing up for.
I just wasn't prepared for, again, the intimacy of it.
This also is, I'm sorry to say this sort of pick-me stuff, but it's a sign of like what women have to go through. You know what I mean? Because like there's no sugaring equivalent for men.
No. Do men get their junk full frontal wax? Do you have any friends who've done this?
No, I don't have any friends at all. Thanks for asking. I don't have any friends at all.
Yeah.
But I don't think so.
So you don't think it's standard practice for men to get their whole junk waxed?
I do not think it's standard practice for men to get their whole junk waxed. Okay. But again, I don't have any male friends. So maybe this is kind of like, maybe this is just my blind spot here. Okay.
Well, again, it is interesting to me now that I'm like, could men even get sugared? Do they even offer the sugaring process?
I think that here's the thing. I do think men do get waxed. I think that's a thing in LA. Like there are men who get waxed.
Yes.
I think that's like a thing.
Yes.
Like, and I'm like, so obviously.
Do they get bald down there?
I don't know. I guess. Yeah. I know like bodybuilders and stuff have to wax, and you can move that on down the chain. I think
swimmers do too.
Swimmers get waxed. Slick boys get waxed. Those are boys they're just like, they like to get waxed and then cover themselves in like slick stuff. So they're extra slick boys. And what they do is they go around town at night and they crawl through your window and they put their fingers in your mouth while you're sleeping. Slick boys. So I know that, but I don't know if there's also kind of weird things happening with male waxing. Hey guys, sorry I invented slick boys. I think that it is like the thing
is that he just invented them because he just wishes that they were real.
You know what? I don't wish the slick boys were real. I sometimes do have this nightmare of like, what if like all of the things I say is like little jokes came true? Because I always joke around like you. I'm like, oh, you're like a little love pig,
right?
But in a positive way. Oh, you're a little pig. I'm like, oh my god, what if she becomes a pig? And then I'm like, that'd be funny.
Well, I was joking. So right now I'm rhinestoning a pig. Can we show them?
Yeah. So Dana recently, maybe after the sugaring, you just needed something to keep your mind busy.
It was after the sugaring. I picked up a new hobby.
At Michael's, I got Dana a little. It's like a little flower pot. in the shape of a pig.
We took the plant out because I'm bedazzling it right now, but I'm making her kind of calico energy. If you're off mic, she's basically just covered in splotches of different colored rhinestones, and she looks amazing in my opinion.
And Dana's been spending hours meticulously.
And I've been spending hours. Like anytime I'm not like actively doing a task I have to do, I'm rhinestoning that pig.
Anytime you're not showering with your clothes on, thinking about the sugaring.
Anytime I'm not lost in thought about sugaring, I am bedazzling that pig. But I was saying like, I almost think having this pig around has warped my own beauty standards, where it's like, I want to look like this pig now. Like, I don't want to look like Bella Hadid. Like, I'm like, I want to look like this shiny little pig. And I'm like, and how much of like our beauty standards are just informed by like what we're looking at that we like think is pretty in the moment. And like, if we all just were surrounded by like colorful little pigs, maybe like that's what we want to look like. Maybe
if instead of like super skinny supermodels, we had like pigs with like beautiful makeup bedazzled upon them. Maybe that would be the beauty standard.
And I am like, dude,
but then,
I just want to look like
people
this
would still be walking
pig.
around being like, I don't even look as much like a pig as I did in high school.
Remember that movie Penelope?
No. I don't know what that movie is.
Christina Ricci like has a pig nose. She's like a normal girl, but she has a pig nose.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Movies used to be fun.
I know. Movies used to be like had a little whimsy.
Yeah, a little bit of no one has whimsy anymore.
No, whimsy's dead.
Whimsy is dead.
Well, like they just want us to be like depressed. And
yeah. They just want to be depressed and our spirit's broken, so we'll go and not resist when we get sugared.
Yeah, well, apparently that is a side effect of Ozempic.
What happens?
Not caring about getting sugared, but apathy. Like it is linked to people not caring about anything.
Well, I also think people are like, you're tired and hungry.
Yeah.
It seems to me.
Well, you don't feel hungry, but you're hungry. Like your body's hungry. You just don't like register as hunger.
I do miss, like, obviously we grew up in the 2010s. Like, I miss a certain whimsy of yesteryear. Like, you know what I miss? I miss kind of whimsical bands like Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros.
Oh my God. I love when bands were cults. That's when they peaked as a culture. So if you don't know, there were a couple bands in the 2010s. I would say Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros and Arcade Fire are the two that I'm really thinking of. But I think
Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros is the furthest like extreme of this, where it's like, again, you look at them and to me it's almost amazing that like they didn't like commit some sort of like group crime or something.
Yeah,
they
like,
literally just released a couple hits.
They never did any Manson family shit that we're aware of. But like those bands that had so many members, and in order to join, all you had to do was like sleep with one of the members.
Yeah.
And like you'd go to their concerts, and every year you'd go back to their concerts, there were more members of the band.
Yeah, and they just give you a new, more like kind of like niche instrument to hold on stage.
Exactly, yeah. And they just like would invent an instrument for you to hold on stage.
Yeah.
And all you had to do was frick a member of the band, and then you were in the band.
And
like,
you could be the new sitar player of Edward Sharpe and Magnetic Zeros.
But I was telling Robert, one of my weirdest memories is I went to an Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros concert when I was in, I think 12th grade. I think it was my senior year, early in my senior year. And I was with this group of kids that I didn't know like super, super well. So again, did they owe me anything? I guess not. Does anyone owe anyone anything? I don't know. But I was with 3 guys and 1 other girl, and I was really good friends with 2 of the guys. But all of these 3 guys had a crush on this other girl, not me. All the other 3 guys had a crush on this other girl, not me. And I drank like a little bit too much, and I spent the majority of the concert literally puking my guts out in the bathroom, like literally almost died of alcohol poisoning. I think like an EMT came by at some point and she's like, are you okay? And I think like I'm the kind of person where like, again, I think people always are kind of like, oh, she's kind of weird. So like it's easy for me to seem normal in situations where
you are being weird.
I am being weird.
You're so used to, I'm going to play it normal even though you think I'm weird.
Yeah.
Because you're
so
used to it.
Used to that.
You've
that,
had
like,
so much practice of everyone thinks I'm weird, I'm going to try to act normal.
Yeah. So like she's coming by. I'm literally like, for all I know, I was like about to meet God, you know? And she's coming by.
You were about to meet Larry.
For all I know, I'm about to meet Larry. And like, EMT knock on the stall, like, are you okay? I'm like, oh no, I'm totally fine. I'm like, I literally think I just ate something weird. I'm like literally like on the verge of death. Like, just think I ate something weird. She's like, okay. I'm like really truly there till the end of the concert. And I know because then the girl that's with us finally comes into the bathroom and she's like, Dana, we're leaving. That's it.
Yeah.
And then I made it home. So I like,
look, here's
it's
the thing.
whatever.
I know. Yeah, it's whatever.
It's whatever. And then what's really funny is this girl asked me to lunch like a couple years ago, like recently. And she literally goes like, it's so funny. I don't really remember you from high school. I'm like, I do. I remember the night you almost let me die. Anyway.
It's so funny how in
Sorry.
your head it's like they somehow
No,
failed you.
no, I don't
because
think they
I will
I'm joking.
say this.
I'm joking. I don't hold them accountable for it at all.
Of course, but it's also
I really
funny how
don't.
you're like, it was me, this other girl, and 3 guys. The 3 guys liked her. It's like, well, you kind of made it easy on them. You immediately locked yourself in the women's bathroom to puke all night. Like, where's the...
No, I understand. Like, this is not a story in which, like, I look great and fun.
Yeah.
Like, no, I get it.
But
I understand why they liked her.
Of course they
I
do,
get it.
because she's with them. How are they supposed to express interest in you while you're puking? One of them probably sent the EMT.
Anyway,
where are the magnetic zeros now?
Where are the magnetic zeros
I guess
now?
all that's to say, where are the magnetic zeros now?
but yeah, where are these bands with like hundreds of members?
Yeah,
Bands
where are the
were better
members?
when there was hundreds of members.
That's also my thing with Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. It's like, okay, like I always think like, are they like just like working? Like what's going on?
Yeah, do they work at Starbucks?
Yeah.
Like, how do they make money? I think they probably, if I had to guess what they're doing, I would guess they like have a farm.
I'm going to start telling people that I'm in the Magnetic Zeros.
You could.
Who's going to stop me?
No one is going to stop you. So Robert and I recently joined. Do you guys remember the band from like the 2010s, Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros? We're proud to announce we are Magnetic Zeros.
We're the Magnetic Zeros. We're just the Magnetic Zeros.
Yeah.
We're not Edward Sharpe.
Oh, no. We're...
Edward Sharpe is being investigated by the FBI. When you say farm, it's like farm is code for cult. When a bunch of people...
But that's also what big government wants us to believe.
I mean, look, I know that everyone loves to say that of like, oh, the government doesn't want you off the grid and kind of growing your own tomatoes and making your own medicine. And I'm like, I'm looking at them and I look at like these people like posting like TikToks of like their weird little fort where like they kind of recycle their own pee. And I'm like, dude, I don't think the government's sweating you at all. I don't think the government is worried about you at all. They're not like, oh man, the stinkiest guy we know is living in a tent in the forest. I don't think they care.
We get it, you're society pilled, and you don't care if Larry is God. You're going to keep being a little robot for society.
Okay, you know what? That's it. Larry, I'm coming out.
He's big now. Yeah. I just wanted to really quickly address that. Yeah. We're wearing matching shirts. And yeah, I tried to do a prank on Robert where I pretended that this was that shirt that I cut into this. And if you're listening on Spotify, we're both just basically I'm wearing a tube top in the same pattern as Robert's sweater. But yeah, I tried to do a prank where I said that this tube top was once his sweater and his sweater was gone. Pretty good.
Okay. Larry, get us out of here.
Get us out of here. Larry, we're done. Larry, let's wrap this up.
Wait. Like, what's going on? This has been the Midnight Milkshake podcast. Larry, get us out of here.
Okay.
This has been the Midnight Milkshake podcast. Larry, get us out of here.